So there are also situations when you always don't have threads or runnable activities. Sometimes you also have callable activities. So callable basically returns a future object. From the future object, the moment you do dot get it, then it performs the activities and gives you the result. So executor frameworks is capable of handling callables as well, and we'll see with the help of an example how you can use callables with executors. Like I said, executors allows you to execute callable objects, and callables are basically something that returns future, and it can also throw an exception, depends execution of course. And you can check whether a particular future was already completed or not using the isDone method. And when you want the value from a future, you can use dot get. Okay, so we'll see with the help of an example how to use callable in executors. Okay, so I'll create a class called callable future ex, and this implements callable, and let's say I'll return a string from my callable. So I'll just say, sorry, not clonable, callable, and I'll say this returns a string. Okay, and I need to implement the method. So let me implement the call here, and from the call I need to return a text. So I'll return something like a task ID here. So I'll say private int task ID, okay, and I'll create a constructor for my private variable, and inside my call method what I'll do is I'll just return a string in a same string like the task ID and the thread name. So let me do that. And so before that, inside my call what I'll do is I'll make the thread sleep for half second just to imitate some real world behavior. And after that I'll just return the string from my call method, and I'll say task ID. Inside the thread I'll specify the task ID %d and completed in, and then I'll specify the thread name. So I'll say task ID and thread.current thread.get name. Now I'll test this. So inside my public static void main, I can submit this callable instance of this class to any type of executor that I prefer to. So I'll use something like a FixedThreadPool here, and maybe I'll just create two threads, and I'll assign this to executor service, and I'll call this as executor. So inside my for loop, I'll say executor.submit. I'll say new callable future example, and I'll specify the task ID here. And remember that when I'm dealing with callable, it returns me a future. So let me assign this to a future variable. So I'll say future of string call this as future. And also note that I'll be creating 5 callables, right? So I need to store all 5 futures somewhere. So I'll create a list. So it would be list of type future of type string. Let me import list here. Okay. And so how do I get my result from my future? So I'll need to do future.get, right? So I'll just iterate over my list again. So I'll say future string f of a list, and then for each of these future object I'll say f.get, and that should give me the result. And it throws some exception when you don't have any proper value. So I'll just put it into my method signature here. And finally, I also need to make sure that I'm shutting down my executor properly. So executor shut down, and let's run this and see what output it gives. Okay. And future has lot more methods, like I spoke about it before, like is done, is cancelled. So actually you don't directly get it, you can see if everything went well, and then only you try to get the value from it. Just for the demonstration purpose, I'm not using all of those. So let's run and see the output, what happens. Okay, I did a mistake. Okay, so inside my for loop I have not added the futures to the list. So let me go inside my for loop where I'm creating, or where I'm submitting the new callables, and I'll submit those to the list and then run again. So I'll say list dot add, and I'll put the future here. So that should be it. Now let me run this again and see the output. Okay, so now you can see that I have like 2 workers to address like 5 tasks, and it has done that, like worker 1 2 1 2 1 2, it distributes the work. So you can use executors with thread, runnable and callables. So that's all as part of this. I'll see you in the next video. Thank you.
Thank you for watching this tutorial. I will see you in the next video. You can put your questions in the comments below.